welcome to the channel. My name is Keisha. You're watching Zaza K Creations. In today's video, I am going to be sharing with you all the things I've made this year so far. So I am in the middle of projects right now. I just finished off making a pair of McCall shorts that I wore last weekend, and I wasn't quite sure of what I wanted to do next. I've got all these things in my mind. I'm thinking about different types of projects. I make 9 board and just not really sure of where I want to go next in my sewing. So I will say this, the month of August for my family has really been a month that we dedicate to getting our girls ready for the school year. Our kids go back to school at the end of this month, so we have been really using the whole month of August, really just getting them back into their back to school routine, making sure that they have their school supplies and they've been signed up for all their fall sports and activities, eye appointments, physicals, all those things. Because I was undecided, or because I am undecided on what I want to work on next, I thought I would just take a pause and look at everything I've done from January to July of this year. I think in doing that, it will give me a greater perspective on where I might see gaps in my sewing, things I may have enjoyed doing in my sewing, just to give me an overall view of all the things I've done to help me think more about what my next makes are going to be. So I'm going to share with you all the things I've made this year so far from January to July. I've got a whole list here I'm going to share with you, and I must tell you, I was really impressed to say or to see that when I did the count on the things I made in this year, I made 18 projects. I made 18 items. Now, some of these items are, DIY, some small crafty type things. And there are some here that are just like full-blown patterns. But to say that I made 18 items, I am like really patting myself on the back for that, because I don't know, I'm just excited. Now, some of the things I made, some of the patterns I'm going to share with you all, I may have done maybe once or twice, because I may have failed on one or had a challenge on one and wanted to do it again. So I will count that as 2. But all in all, I did make 18 different items. So I went ahead and broke this up into 3 categories. The first category are my DIYs, and these are items that did not require any type of pattern. They were mostly self-drafted or very easy to do. Then I have a category of commercial patterns. These are patterns that I made from 2 of the big 4. I noticed I only have 2 different brands on here, and I'll share those with you in a moment. And then I have one indie pattern, one category for indie pattern. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so I'm going to talk through the different makes really quickly, but I'm going to also show you some pictures of the patterns and some where I actually have pictures of what the final make look like. So first up is this fleece blanket. I made this for a friend of mine, for her daughter. The fleece here was actually something I purchased about 2 years ago from Walmart, and I had not had a chance to use it. I wanted to get rid of my fabric stash a little bit, so I went ahead and did this blanket for her daughter. The second item in this category, again, this is the DIY, no patterns, self-drafted category. So the second item were the sewing room accessories. This is part of my Make 9 board for this year. I did 2 of these different mats to go under my sewing machine and my serger, and I purchased this fabric here that I use for these mats from Walmart, and they are reversible. So one side is the darker gray, the other side has a lighter gray, and again, I got this fabric from Walmart, just a basic cotton. I did 3 of the Burrito Method pillowcases. The one you see here is my daughter's. I believe this is the flamingo one. I did one for myself. It's like a cow brown and white print. And my youngest daughter has like a couture perfume girly type pattern or fabric for hers. I don't have pictures of ours. I forgot to get pictures of those, and I believe they are right now probably in the washer. But fabric for these pillows actually also came from Walmart. I just simply went to their one of the aisles and I found some of the basic cotton fabric. Then I have pencil skirts. I did 2 pencil skirts. This is one here. This is double brushed poly knit. Yeah, double brushed poly knit. I purchased from Joann Fabric, and I did a second one using a scuba knit. There is no picture of this second one because I have not worn it just yet. It is a little big around the waist area and the hip area, so I'm not really sure if I'm going to be wearing it as often, but I did have also a black one that I made as well. And then a more recent make was this sheared top that I purchased fabric from Joann's. It's already pre-sheared, so it simply was a 1 seam, a hem at the bottom, and I was done. So these are the DIY, no patterns, self-drafted makes I did this year. And kind of in the DIY, not really a pattern or anything self-drafted, were these really fun pattern weights. Now, these pattern weights definitely were time consuming. I forget how many I actually made, but I made like a set and I used bias tape. I think I used about 12 to 15 packs of bias tape to make these, but I simply used some flat weights. I can't think of what you actually call them. They're not washers, but they're actual weights like disc, and I just simply used some bias tape to wrap around them with some hot glue, and they were pretty much done. It was a really fun project, but again, it took me some time because it was a lot. It was really time consuming, but yeah, I made my own pattern weights. So okay, so next up are the commercial patterns. So again, I only did 2 of the brands. I did Simplicity and McCall so far this year. And the first one are these flannel pants I made using Simplicity 1043. I made these for my youngest daughter. She did not have a whole lot of just lounge around the house, you know, free flowing pants, wide leg pants, comfortable pants. So I went ahead and made her a pair. They were very easy to make. Then I made Simplicity 9679, which is this knit top. I did this twice actually. The first one I used some knit I got from Walmart, and I think I said in my video about this that it was definitely like a Gordon Gartrell shirt. Yes, it was Gordon Gartrell for real, and I really liked it a lot. I liked the style of the shirt. I wanted to do it again, so I did it a second time, and the second one turned out much better. And the second one is what you see here. It was another double brush poly knit I made, and this time I did not use the sleeve. I took the sleeve off to make it sleeveless, and it turned out excellent. So I really do like this make here. Okay, so the next pattern is a McCall's pattern. It's McCall 6802. It's a cardigan, and I used 2 different fabrics for this. I used a sweater knit and a terry cloth knit. The sweater knit, the orange that you see, is what I purchased from a Walmart, and I messed up the cutting on this one and had to go and find a complementary color to finish off the collar, which you see there as the terry cloth, the taupe looking color. And this is part of one of my make 9s for this year as well. Then you have on here McCall's 8221. These are some shorts I've made. These are shorts I made a few weekends ago, last weekend, and these were made out of an Ankara fabric I purchased from a local fabric store near my home. The next make, it was my Simplicity 8911. This was a dress or a caftan, and I used a double brush poly knit that I purchased from Joann Fabrics a couple years ago actually, and this also is part of my make 9, so I'm happy to say I got another make 9 off the board. Then I have this Simplicity 9707. It's a button-up shirt, and I got this fabric. It's a cotton I found on clearance from Joann Fabrics. It is a Saturday Night Live theme. I forgot how much I paid for it, but I didn't pay more than $5 for a yard of it, and I got about 3 yards, I think. But yeah, this is also a part of my Make 9. So on my Make 9 board, I had an item with buttons on it. So this was the item that I chose to do, and I am happy to say that this pattern is probably one of the patterns I've done so far that have taught me the most in terms of skills. There were buttons, there were buttonholes, there was a placket, there was the collar, there were some cuffs. And if you go back and review my video, a couple of videos I have on this particular make, I had to make quite a few adjustments on it. But all in all, I'm happy that I was able to get this shirt done, and I definitely would like to do another one sometime in the future. And then another Make 9 was a shirt for my husband, and this was Simplicity 9314. I did the muscle tank top shirt that you see here. Unfortunately, I do not have any pictures of him in the shirt. And that's on purpose. I had to do this shirt twice. The first time I did this shirt, the collar was all jacked up. It didn't turn out right. Second time I did it, the collar turned out better, much better, but it had a little bit of an overlap on the collar of it. So while it wasn't something I was proud of, you know, my husband, he wears it around the house, he tries to wear it out in public, and I'm like, no sir, take that off. But you know, yeah. So those are the commercial patterns that I did this year, and as you can see, a couple of these I had to do twice, which kind of, you know, goes into the 18 I did for this year so far. Okay, so I do not think I've ever done any indie patterns at all, except for this one here, and it is the Noel dress pattern by Veronica Tucker, and I used Ankara fabric to make this dress, and it is also one of my favorite makes so far this year. I loved how this dress turned out. The instructions were very easy to follow. Nothing but squares, elastic, you know, and I end up adding a belt to mine just so it wouldn't look so boxy and big on me. I wanted to cinch in the waist a little bit, so I did make a belt to go along with this dress. But yeah, this was probably one of my favorite makes of the year so far. All right, guys, so there you have it. I can say I have had a productive year so far in my sewing. 18 products, regardless if they're duplicates or not, is like a huge accomplishment for myself because I do a lot right now, right? Like I'm working, taking care of kids, I'm married, you know, I'm doing a lot. So to say I've done 18 projects so far this year, I am really motivated. I'm still not sure just yet of where I want to take my journey next, but I do have a couple of things left on my Make 9 board. And here's what's left on the Make 9 board: a seam work pattern, a tote bag, a fall cape or a wrap, and a gift for someone. Going to be giving that some thought, and I'm also going to look at this list here and see where I might have some gaps. One thing I see already is that I don't have any patterns by Vogue. I don't have any Butterick patterns done, and I have nothing by New Look done. So I may consider looking at those other 3 big 4, big 5 patterns. Oh, and I have nothing done by the Know Me line of patterns, and I do have a couple of those patterns in my stash as well. So I mean, there are some gaps here. I don't have a lot done for my girls. I don't have a lot done for my husband. So there are some things that I definitely could choose to work on. I just want to make sure that I am pacing myself, not being pressured to get things done, and just taking my time and really enjoying the craft of sewing. So yeah, I want to thank you for watching my video. If you have any suggestions or thoughts or comments to make, please do those below. I want to again thank you for watching. Make sure that you go ahead and like and subscribe if you've not done so by now. You see what I share on my channel. Yeah, if you're interested, make sure you hit that subscribe button and make sure you go and click all so that you're able to get all of my notifications when I go ahead and post new content. So until we come together again, take care and God bless.